Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is taken from a double-up game with Antisocial Monkey. And in this game, we're going to be looking at a Frost team composition. I did a game that was Frost based on the public beta environment on the PBE, but I got another good Frost game here. Wanted to commentate it and put it up on YouTube because it was pretty interesting to play. And it's also going to turn out to be a really close game. So this is going to be a photo finish with Frost trait, if that makes any sense. All right, so we always start out with a portal here in TFT, and as usual, most of the lobby has run over to the Trainer Golems option. I really hate the Trainer Golems option, but of course, that's exactly what pops up here. We only had 1 in 4 odds to not get the Trainer Golems. Again, this is already a very common portal. It pops up a lot, and whenever it does appear, it's like the whole lobby ends up running over there. So you see it even more often than when it just pops up. And I just hate this portal so much because the 3 emblems introduce so much randomness into the game. As a refresher, what this portal does is everyone gets a golem that has 3 emblems on it. And what you get on the golem can basically just determine who wins or loses the game immediately right here. So what have I got in this game? Well, I have the 3 emblems I have are the Shapeshifter trait, the Bastion trait, and the Hunter trait. And as soon as I see this, my only response is, well, I'm going to have to play into the Frost trait in this game because it's the only thing I can think of that makes sense. Frost hits all 3 of these traits. Frost Shapeshifter is Swain, Frost Bastion is Diana, the 5-cost Frost unit. And then there's double Hunter units that have the Frost trait as well. You have Twitch at the 1-cost tier and Olaf at the 4-cost tier. So I don't really know what else I could potentially play with this. It's the only thing I can think of. The issue with that is Frost is pretty much out of the meta. This is being played on the release version of set 12, and Frost is definitely not strong in this particular patch. This is a patch where rerolling, and particularly rerolling for 2 costs, is extremely strong. Syndra is very, very, very overtuned in this patch. So people are rerolling for Syndra, rerolling for Cassiopeia because you play Cassiopeia with Syndra. They're reroll. Oh, and then I also get a Frost Crest here as well. So I was like, all right, I mean, I have to play Frost with this setup. I just have to. I don't even have a choice. I have to play this. But anyway, people are rerolling for Syndra, rerolling for Cassiopeia, rerolling for Kog'Maw, rerolling for some of the 2-cost units that have their champion augments. So if you hit like the Nunu carry augment, he's a 2-cost. You can reroll for him. If you hit the Galio champion augment, you reroll for Galio, but it's just all rerolling for 2-cost units. Oh, the other big one is Kassadin. Kassadin is severely overtuned in this patch as well. So I am going to be playing Frost, and Frost is not overtuned. Frost is not particularly strong in this meta at all, but that's what I've gotten from my emblems. That's what I got from my augment. So we're going to look to go into the Frost trait and just do the best we can. All right, now out of the items I had here, I didn't really have items that I wanted, so I was able to reforge that glove into, what was it, a sword, and I was able to make a Sterix and put it on Warwick. So I'm going to be looking to play through Warwick in the early game. Again, Warwick is extremely not in the meta right now. Basically, no one is playing Warwick, but that's not the worst thing because it means I should be pretty uncontested on Warwick. As I said, I did do a PBE video on Warwick before, but I don't expect everybody to have necessarily seen that. He hasn't really changed since the PBE, although at the point in time I played that game, Frost was actually really overtuned on the beta server. When we first started playing on the PBE, Frost was extremely overtuned, and then they nerfed it across the board, and they haven't really touched it since then, so that's why it's underpowered here in the release version. But anyway, Warwick hasn't really changed it that much. Fortunately, I am going to hit the 2-star Warwick here. I'm going to look to try to 3-star Warwick, so that's why I'm not leveling here. I'm staying at level 2, or staying at level 3 for the time being. I also get a Swain here, and that's really nice. I should just play the Swain over the Zillion, and I think that I end up doing that because Swain is just a better unit. But anyway, I'm going to try to 3-star the Warwick, and I'm going to try to play through him. Okay, so Warwick is kind of a weird unit in this set. He's a stacking unit in the sense that he has an ability that stacks up every single time he gets a kill. I'll go ahead and read his description. He is the only unit in the set that does not have any mana, does not have mana at all in this set. So he just is based on auto-attacking. Traits are Frost and Vanguard. Passive is permanently gains 1% attack speed and movement speed for each champion killed. So every time he gets a champion kill, he gains 1% attack speed and movement speed. So again, he's a stacking champion. He reminds me a little bit of Yasuo in set 10, when you would want to, if you could stack up Yasuo over time and he'd get permanent attack damage as a result. Well, Warwick doesn't get attack damage. He gets attack speed and he gets movement speed, but movement speed's significant because it allows him to get onto the next target faster. So anyway, that's his passive. As far as his actual ability, again, he doesn't use mana, so he doesn't really have an active ability, but his attacks heal for health and deal bonus physical damage. He gains double the healing and physical damage against targets that are nearly dead, below 25% health. So he just auto attacks and he heals on his auto attacks. Again, this is similar to how some of his abilities work in League of Legends, the actual base game. As he stars up, he deals more damage and he also heals for more. So if you're going to play through Warwick as a carry, which again, I want to stress basically no one is doing right now, you want to itemize him for attack speed and then attack damage and then also tankiness. The problem is he kind of needs a lot of different stats, which is one of the reasons why he's not that effective right now. So items that you would want on him are things like Bloodthirster, Rageblade, Titan's Resolve, Sterix, and Quicksilver Sash is good on him too because he can get stuck on melee targets. I was able to make the Sterix right away, so I was happy to do that. Now, I really would like to get him a Rageblade. I think Rageblade is probably his most important item just because he's entirely auto attack based. So you really want him stacking up attack speed. So the Rageblade is nice in that regard. If he's not attacking fast, he's not healing. And yeah, so you kind of need that. You can also check how many kills. He's got 5 kills right now, 5% bonus attack speed and movement speed. I also think he's one of those champions who's a little bit better in double up because, again, when you go and reinforce your partner's board, you have a chance for Warwick to get more kills. If the other team reinforces on your board, you also have a chance to get more kills. That was a round where I was going to win against the initial person, and then their partner came in, and I was actually able to get like 2 additional kills on Warwick that way, so I was reasonably happy with that. Now, I was hoping to get a rod on this carousel. I knew we were going to be like the first picks on the carousel because we've been losing rounds. ASM was just planning on loss streaking throughout the whole early game, so I knew we were pick 1 and pick 2, and there was a rod on there. I really wanted a Rageblade, but that was not an option, so I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'll just go ahead and take this. I'll make the Titan's Resolve, and hopefully I can get another bow and another rod from there. So that's the goal. I'm continuing to pick up Honeymancer units for ASM. He was planning on going into straight up B reroll, the Honeymancer build, but it turns out that someone else was able to get the Nunu carry augment, the Nunu one that is his champion or hero augment, where Nunu permanently stacks up additional max health as the game goes on. That is one of the strongest performing augments in the data right now, by the way. I think it's like top 2 or top 3. This release version of set 12 is not especially well balanced. It's unfortunate, but it's just the balance is not really that there. So if you have that, then you just are it's kind of like a free path into a top 4, or I guess a top 2 here in double up mode. So unfortunately, that means that ASM is going to be contested, and he's going to be looking to go less straight Honeymancer reroll, and he decides to pivot and do a bit of a hunter reroll game instead. So instead of going heavy on the bees, he's going to go for Cogmaul and then also try to pick up some other hunters because he also has a Jinx over there on. He got an early Jinx on his board, and that means it's more viable to play 4 hunters. He also has a hunter emblem as well. By the way, you see me selling the Nunu there at the last second so I could get to the 20 gold. I think that went off soon enough, but I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, he has a Bastion plus Hunter plus Chrono for his 3. And again, this is also something that can really screw you over in double up mode. We both have Hunter emblems and we both have Bastion emblems. So we're being forced down lines, team lines that contradict one another too. So yeah, that's not really great that like we're both got very similar emblems here, so now we like have to contest each other. And then this person has a hunter emblem as well. So a whole bunch of hunter emblems out here on the carousels. But as I've said, I just don't really like these because, like, imagine if I had gotten a frost emblem on here. Like, imagine if instead of that Bastion emblem, which is doing basically nothing for me right now, what if that had been a Frost emblem instead? I would have +2 Frost, and that would allow me to play 9 Frost, which is just like insta-win the lobby. And it's just really dumb that you can win the lobby off stuff like that. Anyway, Warwick's already up to 12 kills, so that's looking pretty nice. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton of Warwicks yet, and like I really need to 3-star this unit if I'm going to be able to continue playing through this, because I'm not hitting any of the other early Frost units. I have 1 Twitch so far. I do have a Hui. That's kind of nice. That'll get me up to 5 Frost. So while we have the minion round here, let's go ahead and cover what the Frost trait actually does. Let me go ahead and read this description for you. Where is Frost? Okay, here we go. Frost champions gain ability power and attack damage. So that's kind of the base thing is Frost units gain AD and AP. The deeper you get into the trait, the more AD and AP they get. Here's the secondary bonus. The first few enemies to die become allied ice soldiers, which lure enemy attacks if they're within range and retarget. The deeper you get in the trait, the more ice soldiers you get. So it's kind of interesting in that when you kill enemy units, they will turn into frost soldiers. At Frost 3, which is what I have in right now, you only get 1 ice soldier, and then each additional rank in the trait gives you another frost soldier. So 2 at Frost 5, and by the way, there I get another bow, so now I'm just really hoping that I will be able to find... what am I looking for? A rod, that's right. And I get another Warwick coming over from ASM. But I am still only on 4 Warwicks, so I'm not exactly hitting the Warwicks that well so far. And I did have the chance to get a random emblem here, so I could have rolled just for yet another emblem. That would actually give me a 5th emblem, but it would cost 15 gold, and that's a lot. Because I'm not hitting the Warwicks, I'm afraid to spend money on that. I think it would just cost a little bit too much. So I'm up to 5. I'm still only on 2 Twitches, by the way. Oftentimes, if you're going to play this, you're going to reroll for both Twitch and Warwick at the same time because they're both 1 cost and they're both Frost units. But that does not look like it's going to be viable here because I am just not finding Twitches at all. And Twitch is not really that necessary anyway because I've already got +1 Hunter coming from the Golem, so I don't really need to play Twitch on this board either. By the way, once again, I was winning this round and then I got reinforced on, but at least it won't be too bad of a loss. And as long as Warwick's killing things, he's going to continue stacking up more, get more of those stacks, and he'll attack faster and faster as the game goes on. All right, time for augment number 2. I'm looking at the different things. Little Buddies could be possible because I am going to play some 4 and 5 cost units later on. But Little Buddies does nothing to make us stronger right now, so I don't really like that too much. Also, Epoch is a very good augment as well. But that would power level me, and I need to reroll for Warwick, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to take the Thief's Glove augment. The one that means that units holding a Thief Glove gain 20% attack speed and gain 200 additional health. I always like taking the things that make Thief's Gloves better in Double Up because you just get the opportunity to get more Thief's Gloves in Double Up. Now I'm going to keep rolling here. I'm going to get a Lesser Champion Duplicator. That is totally worth it. So with that, I'm on 6 Warwicks, and then I have the Champion Duplicator, so I just need to find 2 more for Warwick 3-star, and then I can look to start leveling. The extra unit that I'm playing on my board right now is Rumble, and Rumble's a unit that's going to fit into a whole bunch of team compositions just due to his traits. Rumble has the Vanguard trait, so that's going to help out Warwick. Warwick is Frost plus Vanguard. Vanguard is a tank trait. It doesn't really fit that well on Warwick. It's a trait that gives a shield at the start of combat. What's specifically the description? Vanguard units, I know they get shields. What's the official description? Vanguards gain 10% durability while shielded. Combat start end at 50% health. Gain a shield for a percent of max health. So it's not bad. It certainly doesn't hurt Warwick to get that shield, but I wouldn't say it's too critical for him because he's more of a carry. He's definitely more of a carry than he is a unit that really is going to be like standing there and tanking. But it doesn't hurt. It gives him a little bit more survivability. Anyway, so yeah, I got that. Anyway, Rumble gives me the Vanguard trait for Warwick. He also puts the Blaster trait in play for Hui. And then his third trait is Sugarcraft, but Sugarcraft's not going to factor into this game because I'm not trying to bake the cake in this particular game. So he's a really good person to put the Frost Emblem for now. In the late game, it would be good to move out of him and play a different unit because the Frost Emblem gives AD and AP, so it gives carry stats. Ideally, you'd put the Frost Emblem on someone who's going to give you an additional damage source. So you don't really want to put it on a tank, and Rumble is a tank. So there's better people to put this on long term. But for right now, he's definitely the best person to put it on because look how many traits it lets me play. Having Frost 5 in is also nice because I get the second Ice Soldier. Now, is that going to be enough to win this round? The answer is no. This is the win-streaking player. Guess what they're playing? Oh, they're playing Cassiopeia over there. Okay, so they're re-rolling for Cassiopeia. Again, these units are not especially well-balanced in the current patch, so they're playing Syndra Cassiopeia, so they just kind of win automatically if they hit those units. As I said, it's not a very well-balanced patch. The good news for me, though, is there are 3 rods on this carousel, and remember, I need a rod to make Rageblade for Warwick. I'd really like to get the Swain, because the Swain, I'm trying to put my tank items on Swain. He's the main mid-game tank in a Frost team composition, but that gets grabbed, so that's not a possibility. But I'll take the leftover rod. It's a good thing there were 3 rods, because 2 of the 3 got taken before it scrolled back over to me. The disadvantage of being last pick on the carousel, but now I will be able to make a Rageblade on the Warwick, and I'm pretty happy with his items here. So he's got Rageblade to stack attack speed. He has the Titans, which will stack up, AD and armor and magic resistance as he deals damage and takes damage. And then Sterix gives him an AD boost and also gives him the shield. what is it? Or is it a shield, or is it, what exactly does the Sterix do? You know, this item's been around for a few sets, but I tend not to play melee carries. Sterix, where are we? Just read the description. No, it doesn't give them a shield. Once per combat at 60% health, gain 20. Okay, it effectively gives them a shield. They gain 25% max health, and they gain 35% attack damage. So they don't gain a shield, they gain max health when it goes off. And then I got that. You saw I had a charm that gives me a copy of one copy of every 1-cost unit in my shop. So that gives me another Warwick, and then I was able to duplicate for the last one. And now I'm going to look to start leveling because I do not care about 3-starring Twitch. I only have 3 Twitches anyway, so there's not much of a priority to get up to 9 of them. And this does mean that Twitch can potentially come out of my board later on. But the main thing is hitting the 3-star Warwick. As I said, Warwick 3-star does a lot more damage. All of his base stats go up. He deals more damage. He heals for more. And of course, you want to have a strong Warwick. Like, he needs to be strong in the early game because if Warwick's not getting kills, he's not going to be a very useful unit. So you really need to he needs to be strong early in the game because if you don't get stacks, he's just not going to be valuable. Anyway, so we did the gift round there before. Now we're getting the second gift round, and I'm going to take the Thief's Glove because, remember, I have an augment that makes my Thief's Gloves better than they naturally would, so I'm quite happy to take this. We are continuing to try to find Cogmalls over there. Unfortunately, Antisocial Monkey is having terrible luck at finding Cogmalls, and that's partly because over there on that other board, remember, there's someone else who's rerolling for Cogmall and Nunu, so he's pretty contested, and he's just not seeing the Cogmalls in this game. I know I had one Cogmall earlier that I sold, but like it was early enough in the game that he wasn't really emphasizing Cogmall. So I could have done a little bit better there, but ended up not doing so. I also put this Thief's Glove on the Zilean. I probably should have put it on Twitch, honestly, because Twitch is 2-starred, and Twitch is probably going to come out of this composition because there's really no way I can play 4 Hunters on this board. One alternative would be, well, you've got the +1 Hunter emblem from your Trainer Golem. Why not just play 4 Hunters here? But that doesn't really work because Antisocial Monkey's going to play 4 Hunters, and we'd just be contesting for all the same units. So he needs to hit like 3-star Jinx. He needs to hit 3-star Cogmall. There's really no point in me going for these units. So I'm going to come over here to his board, and I will get a couple more kills on Warwick, but ultimately it's not enough. And ASM's board is just really struggling because he cannot seem to find Cogmalls. And if he can't get at least 2-star Cog, there, he finally got the 2-star Cog. But without that, his board is really struggling quite a lot. So he's on 4 of them, and he has double duplicators. But he did have to take the gold augment that gives you 2 duplicators, which means that once he hits the 3-star Cog, he really has no benefit from that augment whatsoever. It's one of those augments that gives you, like, helps you to hit your champions, but does not give any other benefit. So it's like good in the short run, but not so great in the long run. Anyway, so we'll do this latest minion round, and now I'm looking to try to get some items for Olaf. So mostly now what I'm really looking for is I would really like to find Olaf because Olaf gets me up to 7 Frost. I mean, I'd like to find Diana as well. She's the 5-cost. She would actually give me a rank of Frost and also a rank of Bastion trait, but the odds of me finding Diana at level 7 are not exactly high. So I'm just going to be power leveling right now and playing more units for the time being. There's a lot of different options I could play here. Oh, here's what we did. We found ASM got an early Morgana, and we were like, oh my god, early Morgana. Okay. So I was going to put in that Bard. That was the plan. I was going to put in Bard, who would have given me Preserver, plus also, actually would have given me Sugarcraft as well, because I have the Rumble. But instead, I'll just play the Morgana instead, because why not? We'll just play this Morg instead. She's a 5-cost unit. She's a really good unit. What I should try to do is I really should have tried to get the Frost Emblem on her, because Frost 7 is 45 AD and 45 AP. That's a lot of stats. So I think it would have been worthwhile to try to get that Frost Emblem on her and move that over to her, because she's just such a good unit as a 5-cost. But I did not end up doing that. Instead, I believe I ended up trying to make a Thief's Glove for her. I do have stronger... Oh, and then I get this Frosty Frontline. The Frost trait grants 1 placeable Frost statue equipped with Eternal Winter, gains health with each Frost level. Also gave me another Zilean there. So yeah, we've now got the Frost statue as well. So basically, I get a Frost statue with an Eternal Winter. So anyone who attacks that will get their attack speed slowed. And then when it goes down to, I think, 40% health, it becomes untargetable for a few seconds, and it will heal back up to full again. So I'm basically opting into Frost plus Preservers here. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I hit the early Morgana, and I think that that's worthwhile to do. I already get 1 Preserver from Zilean. Zilean is Frost plus Chrono plus Preserver. And so if I'm going to play a Preserver unit anyway, and I have this early Morgana, well, I might as well just play some additional ranks of Preserver trait. I've found the Morg, and I also just got a Rakan, so I can look to put Rakan in as well. On level 8, I'll either put Rakan in if I can't find Olaf or Diana, and if I can find them, then I will play one of them instead. Long term, I will replace the Twitch with Olaf. That'll just be a straight replacement. They have exactly the same traits. But look at Warwick getting low. But it's hard to kill Warwick when he gets low because he has so much attack speed. I mean, he did die in that fight, but he also carried it with 5,300 health. So anyway, I'll replace Twitch with Olaf. That'll be a straight up replacement. And then we'll slot in the Rakan on level 8, and then ideally the Diana on level 9, or vice versa, something like that. But that will get me to 7 Frost and 3 Preserver, while also playing some better units on my board. Preserver is a trait that grants the whole team health and health regen, and if they're at full health, it grants them mono regen. Anyway, there's the 3-star cog over on ASM's board. So unfortunately, it's just taken him a really, really, really long time to hit the Cogmall 3. I mean, he did get there, but I wasn't able to help him too much, and it just took a while to get there. So that's the hope, but at least now his board should be a bit stronger. He just has not been able to win streak because he was not able to find these Cogmalls, unfortunately. Anyway, this is up against a 3-star Cassiopeia. This person, I guess, is playing the Cassiopeia plus Syndra board. So I just need to get over onto the Cassiopeia. Warwick is doing his best to kill everything else. The Edge of Night actually helps me there. The enemy Edge of Night triggers. So Warwick drops aggression off the Fiora and runs over to the Cassiopeia, but that's actually better. And he's going to 1v1 and kill the Fiora over there. So he is now up to 47% attack speed, movement speed. That's a lot of stacks. And yes, he carries the fight yet again. I think that the mid-game carries for Frost are supposed to be the Hui and the Swain, because they're both 3-cost units, but I have not seen like any copies of either of them. I just have 1-star. I have pairs of each of them. I have 1-star Swain, 1-star Hui. So because I'm really lacking in those units, I've had to try to carry through the Warwick instead. So it's just been me focusing on playing through the Warwick, and that's about the best I can do. All right, so I'm going to take this, and a couple options here. This could be Steadfast Heart with the glove together with that vest, or it could also be a Titans if I could find Olaf. I'm actually going to purchase the component anvil here, and there is a Jinx that could be used as ASM tries to get towards Jinx 3-star. So I'm actually going to roll here. I'm really looking for Olaf, and oh, there he is. Okay, well, that was easy enough. I got the Olaf very quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and sell the whatchamacallit, the Zillion, because I can replace him, and that allows me to move the Thief's Glove over to Morgana. As I said, it probably should have tried to put the Frost emblem on Morgana, but I'm able to go ahead and make a Titan's Resolve on Olaf. So I'm reasonably happy with that. And then now I'd like to try to make another item. But I'm going to hold off on pulling the component anvil because we're only 2 rounds away from the minion round. And I want to see what components I get out of the minion round before I pull the component anvil. So it's going to sit there on the bench for a little while. Unfortunately, in this fight, Warwick gets focused pretty early on and he dies. And once that happens, then yeah, my team kind of falls apart because Olaf's still just a little 1-star unit. Good news is ASM was able to come over and reinforce me, and so we're going to be able to win that run anyway. I think that's the first time he's been able to come and reinforce the whole game because, as you said, it just took so long for his board to come together. So anyway, I am going to look to hang in there a little bit longer. There is the Jinx going over to his board. I tried to send that last round. It didn't quite hit. Also has now hit the 3-star Nunu, so that's a good sign as well. Now, if I could just get 2-star Swain, ideally I'd have 3-star Swain. 3-star Swain's a really good tank. And I do get Shapeshifter trait for free on that golem over there. But I just have not seen Swains in this game, so it seems very unlikely I'm going to be able to 3-star Swain. ASM's holding 2 extra copies over there, so I guess we have 4 Swains between us, but it's definitely taken a long time to hit this unit, which is weird because it's not really being played that much on other people's boards. Like, nobody's going Frost in this game, but there is, I guess, a little competition for the Swain. Anyway, this is more of what I want. Warwick was able to get around the front line, and now he's running around the back line killing things, so he's going to continue chomping his way through the enemy team, and we're going to be able to beat that board pretty easily. So at this point, we were looking really good. I was able to get a full win streak all through stage 4, so I was quite happy with how this was going. All right, yeah, Warwick spawned, the Cassiopeia spawns right on top of Warwick. Look, he got like 3 more kills on ASM's board. So yeah, we're in really good shape at this point in time. And I was hoping that we could just like smoothly win streak to the end of the game from this point. Also another possibility is I could have, in theory, tried to put the Frost Emblem on Smolder. And maybe in retrospect, I would have done this. Just sell Rumble, just say who the heck cares about Vanguard trait. I really don't care about that. And then just move the Frost Emblem to Smolder. Smolder's really underpowered in this patch, but I think that would have been better too. I guess the issue is my front line is just kind of sad, but Morgana's like a pseudo frontliner as well. If I were to do this game over again, I think I'd do that. I think I'd just sell the Rumble and then transfer the Frost Emblem over. That would maintain Blaster trait. Again, it would lose Vanguard, but I don't think Vanguard's really doing that much for my team. Anyway, there's 2-star Swain, and there's 2-star Hui popping out of the minion round. So cool, I'll take that. Now I'm going to roll and try to find some more Olafs. I'm going to pick up that charm, which gives me a chance to dodge auto attacks, largely because I just want to get more champions popping up. So anyway, we're going to get the 2-star Zillion. Zillion came back. That's fine. And I'll pick up the Swain because who knows, why not? So I'm going to get some more tank items here. Go ahead and do this. And, I really should have pulled the other component emblem first before I made an item there. There's also a Briar, but I don't think either of us can actually play that. So I did not find any Olafs, unfortunately, and that's a bit of an issue because I would like to make the more Olaf, would like to make the Olaf 2-star, certainly. And then I'll go ahead and pull something over here, and I was like, okay, well, I'll go ahead and make what do you call it? The Hand of Justice. I don't know why it took me a minute to get that. So Olaf's going to have reasonably good items over here. As we're fighting a Pyro team, can Warwick deal with this unit up? Warwick falls apart at the end of the fight. And you might notice that the Cassidy did 14,000 damage. So this is the first time I was like, oh, okay, I guess some of these other boards are starting to spike here. Winter Ice Soldiers gain 40% more health. That's nice. All right, well, there's 2-star Rakan, and there's another Morg. And there's a Diana. I was like, okay, so Diana, this is easy. I just take out the Twitch. And then we'll replace Twitch with Diana. So that actually helps give some frontline as well. Yeah, again, Smolder would be really nice to have. Smolder would give me an additional damage source. And there's 2-star, there's the 2-star, the 2-star Olaf. So now I can look to go to level 9 and I'll play the, Rakan. But I do think that replacing the Rumble with Smolder would have been better, just to get a better unit and then another carry. And the other thing that does is that would give Smolder, does Smolder's attacks have a burn on them or is that Dragon trait? Let's see. Flies around. Okay, no, there's no... I was going to say that would put a burn effect on Smolder's auto attacks in play, but no, that's actually Dragon trait does that, not Smolder himself, and I would not have Dragon trait in play. All right, anyway, we're up against the Nunu carry augment. That was the team that had the 3-star Nunu with the Nunu carry augment. So doing our best, we were able to cut through that unit, and then Warwick is still running around killing things. Look at Warwick, how much attack speed he has. He is now at 66% bonus attack speed, so he carried that fight super duper hard right there, and at least we were able to get that other team down to 1 HP. So yeah, like I said, now I'm just going to try to get to level, level 9 and play Rakan for another Preserver. And this other team is down on 1 HP, so we'd really, really like to get them out of the lobby while they're on 1 hit point over here. But I'm just hoping that I will not hit that Kassadin player because I mentioned that Kassadin is really overtuned in this patch. Yeah, the one of those teams that's on 1 HP, one of them has 6 chrono because there's only 5 chrono units in this set. So in order to play 6 chrono, you need +1 from the emblem. But yeah, one of them is 6 chrono and the other one is got the multi-striker Kassadin, which again, Kassadin's really overtuned. So again, note that Warwick initially does like some really bizarre pathfinding, but because he's so freaking fast, it doesn't really matter that much. So he's going to be able to start getting in the back lines here. He just needs to move off the tank and get over to that Cassiopeia. Can we finish killing the front line? There we go. Over to the Cassiopeia. So it's the Warwick and Olaf show here as they dance around hitting things. So we're able to win that round. But unfortunately, that team that was on 1 HP double won. And so they are not out of the lobby. We were really hoping that they'd get knocked out here. And of course, they're going to get first picks on the carousel. I am last pick, unsurprisingly. So I'd like to get one more item for Olaf. I think I would prefer the Bloodthirster here. Would be a nice last item for Olaf, but not gonna have a chance to take that because one of the other teams is gonna take it. So I was like, all right, well, another good Olaf item is the Sterix. So I'll take that and put it on Olaf. And these are perfectly fine items on Olaf. He has a Titans and a Sterix, and then a Hand of Justice. A Bloodthirster would be slightly better because he doesn't really play through Critical Strike chance, but this is fine. These are not bad items. So I'm quite happy with the items that Warwick and Olaf have, and I think I've itemized them just about as well as I can, given what I've been seeing throughout this game. But the one real mistake on my board is just Rumble should be out at this point because Rumble's a 2-cost and he's not really doing much of anything. I think I honestly just kind of forgot as the game was going on. I think I just kind of forgot who had the Frost emblem because I just had slapped that on Rumble so early in the game. I mean, it's not terrible. He gives me both Blaster trait and Vanguard trait, but there's just better options, and Smolder's probably the best one that I could have had here. Because as I've said, Frost gives carry stats. It does not give tank stats. All right, so I definitely want to try to position right now so I can deal with some of these other boards. So anyway, here's the Kassadin board. Kassadin plus multi-strikers. And I was really thinking that I was hoping that I could just win this round and maybe get this team out of the game. But watch the Kassadin over on the right-hand side. He kind of paths into the back lines. And the way Kassadin's ability works is every time he casts, he gets a shield, and then he gains additional magic damage on hit. As it turns out, Warwick and Olaf both aggroed onto Briar. They have a 2-star Briar with a multi-striker emblem over there, and we just did not do any damage to that unit whatsoever. So we are unfortunately not able to win that. And then that team on 1 HP double wins again. So they just keep winning and winning and winning on 1 HP. We're just like, oh man, can we get this team out of the lobby? But the problem is one of them is playing 6 Chrono, and Karma is seen as being the strongest 4-cost in this patch. And the other one is actually playing 9, is about to play 9 multi-striker. Anyway, for the gift round, I'm going to put a Thief's Glove on Diana. Remember, I get powered up Thief's Gloves here. So yeah, the problem is the multi-striker player, they had a multi-striker emblem on their golem, and then they got another multi-striker emblem from their augment. So they actually have +2 multi-strikers. So as soon as and so they can actually play 9 multi-strikers, and they don't even have to be level 9. They can play 9 multi-strikers on level 8. Because all they have to do is play the 7 multi-striker units, put the emblem on another unit, which they put on Briar, a great choice, and then they get +1 from the golem. So there are actually 9 multi-strikers on level 8, which again just does not really feel fair at all, but that's the way it rolls sometimes. As I said, I just don't like the golem portal because you can just win or lose the game off your augment. Anyway, I am up against the Nunu board. This is the Nunu with a 3-star Nunu with the carry augment. This board was really strong earlier, but it has definitely started to fall off, and you can see Warwick and Olaf are all over this board. So we're going to win that round, but unfortunately ASM lost his round. So now all 3 teams are at 1 hit point in this lobby. That one team that's been on 1 hit point for a while has double one the last 3 rounds. And the problem is we just can't deal with that. Yeah, 9 multi-striker over there. 9 multi-striker is one of those crazy chase traits that you're not really supposed to hit because it requires double emblems. But again, they had the perfect setup for it. +1 on the golem, +1 from the augment, and then so they can play 9 multi-strikers and they don't even have to be level 9, which is just wild over there. So anyway, we have to win our rounds and hope that we can avoid getting knocked out of this lobby, hopefully. But as I said, it is a super tight game, so I'm going to be looking to go 9 here and then put the Rakan on the board. Let's go ahead and level. Hopefully we can find a good charm. I don't want to take that charm. I want to see if I can find something better. All right, I don't need more Olafs. I already have Olaf left to gain a permanent 3-star 1-cost champ. No, that's not going to do anything for me. I would really like another. I can gain a temporary, what do you call it? Could gain a temporary Dragon's Claw. Maybe I should have taken that. I take this charm instead. I actually sell a Swain to do this. And let's get some more frontline here. I think that's more useful than anything else. I actually get a 2-star Swain coming over from ASM. I probably should have remembered that he was about to do that and put me on 8 Swains, because 8 Swains would definitely be... it would only put me 1 away from the 3-star Swain. All right, I am up against the Chrono 6 board, so this is a bit of a problem. And Warwick and Olaf actually waste some time pathfinding at the start of the round. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but I do have 3 Preserver, which is kicking in an awful lot of health regen for my team. So it looks like I've been able to get through the front line. Now can I get over here and kill the Karma? They've got a reinforcing player coming over. All right, it's the Kassadin board coming over, so I have to win against both one of these boards, because if I lose, the game is over. It's down to just the Briar and the Kassadin. We're in overtime, so the Kassadin can't heal as much, and woo! Warwick just barely does that, but oh, here's the problem. Remember how we double won that round and both teams were on 1 HP? Both teams were not eliminated. Yeah, they were both on the like sometimes in this game when you're on 1 HP, usually you get eliminated on the next loss, but they were both not on 1 loss eliminates them. So now they are, but they both had 1 more loss remaining, which was just so frustrating for us to have that happen. So anyway, now everyone gets knocked out on the next loss. And so I'm going to go ahead and sell the 2-star Swain because this is the last round of the game no matter what. And I'm going to just try to desperately win this round. If I can win this round, I think we're guaranteed at least a second. All right, I'm up against the Cassiopeia board. And look at this. Warwick is going to path right into the back lines. The positioning is perfect. He's on the Cassiopeia. He should be able to kill this unit, no trouble. He's going to take down this unit. Now he just needs to get over to that rise. We got to finish cutting through the front line. But my team has gotten stronger. We were able to hit the 2-star Morgana right there. I'm going to knock them out. But unfortunately, ASM did lose his round. And so that team that was on 1 HP double won the last 5 rounds in a row. And they actually end up finishing. Well, that's not true. They lost one of the rounds previous round, but they went from fake 1 HP to real 1 HP. And so we're actually going to end up taking a second in this game. A very close second. A very entertaining game, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to pick this one. But just a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, it just took Antisocial Monkey's board a little too long to hit the Cogmaw. And then he went for the fish bones. He got the fish bones out of one of the artifact anvils, and he put it on Jinx. And I think that actually ended up trolling Jinx because she was just hitting random targets and not actually killing anything. But early in the set, we didn't really know that was maybe a bad item to put on her. It is what it is. But anyway, I was happy with the board I put together, and I think we win this lobby if it's not for ridiculous 9 multi-striker emblem cheese. So whatever, GG. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, take care, everybody. Have a good week, and I'll see you again soon.